Welcome everybody, welcome to a new stream. My name is Javier Casado. I'm a game engineer in Hood Games. I'm here with Loritz Vinderup, lead game designer in the project.
Hello, hello.
And Daniel Winfeld, the creative director.
Hello again.
And this stream today is especially themed around the update 1.5, the B.R.A.I.N update. Maybe Daniel can start speaking a little bit about it while we actually form a group.
So one of the new features, just picking off of that, is of course the B.R.A.I.N. So and that comes in a special loadout. So this is only for small crews. So today I will be the backseat driver.
So right here in the frigate section, we have the lone sentry loadout, which as it says in the description, it's recommended for 1 or 2 players. But as you say, Daniel, we're going to go for it as 3, right?
Well, 2 and plus me. So one thing that's fun to talk about is actually how the B.R.A.I.Ns work. Maybe you want to talk about the target priority and stuff?
Yeah, so I guess, Javi, you should take a seat then and show off what it looks like when you're piloting and assigning targets.
Sure, that sounds very fun. Let's see. We have first of all the B.R.A.I.N right here, right? That's the new Benediction auto turret, B.R.A.I.N powered. And if we just power it on and don't do anything else, it will already have a priority of its own, right?
It's a tier 2 Benediction gun, so it comes with the 2 mod slots, no upgrade path. Unfortunately, I guess, but the B.R.A.I.N itself is a capable gunner once you help it out.
In the meantime, I can actually try out also the cruise mode, where I set the cruise mode to be engaged, then leave the pilot seat, and we're still cruising around in space. I'm gonna let it do a full rotation towards the void jam destination while cruising, and then I'll pull the lever myself.
See, we don't even need you.
Yeah, basically. This is me getting replaced by cruise control.
Inertia effect imminent.
Alright, we're going very soon. Let's go.
Helm cruise mode disengaged.
I think it's time for one of you to start explaining one of the new features, right? Just before we start shooting with the auto turrets, the scanning. Who wants to take it?
So we had already scanning functionality in the game, but up until now it's been assigned to an area around the player ship itself. So to scan, identify a signature in space, you need to get close enough to the thing for the signature to become identified. And that distance was based on the size of the thing you were flying towards. So you would find that very small things like carriables in space would not be identified until you got very close, whereas the very big space locations and so on, they would actually be revealed already at like 3 or 5 kilometers away. This was systematically the first version of the scanning system, but we obviously wanted something that was player-driven in place, and that's now been added to the pilot role as a scan functionality where the pilot can aim at an unidentified marker in space, and then use the scanning functionality there to find out what it actually is. That provides a few things. One, it provides visibility on what you're looking for, which in this mission, for instance, is a key. You need to find the container, the right container that you're looking for. But the B.R.A.I.N logic, and actually also just gunners in general, can also benefit from targets being scanned, because a scanned target can be marked as a target lock. And once you establish the target lock, the B.R.A.I.Ns will prioritize shooting at a target lock, and it'll also give gunners looking at the target a little aim reticule that sits in front of the enemy if they're in range, and shows you where to aim and shoot. And that aim reticule, of course, takes the speed of your gun, the projectiles that your gun shoots, into account.
Alright, so I tried everything as you were explaining it. We already located the tech to container, and we have some mines marked.
I see a collector over on the left also, which I think we should think about at some point.
Actually, there you go. All right.
That wasn't me, that was the B.R.A.I.N.
Yeah, it was the B.R.A.I.N shooting at the target lock target. However, the tech container that we have right in front of us, we need your help dealing with it. So, can you explain a little bit about that actually? Like why is our turret not shooting at it?
Yeah, so in general, it also lies a little bit in how we put the brains on this specific loadout and so on. The brains obviously do some of the work aboard the ship, and since this is a co-op game, we don't want the ship to be fully automated. This also means that we put limitations on how the brains work, in that they will only shoot hostiles, and they will only shoot stuff that's in a specific angle in front of the ship. So these limits put the focus on the pilot to actually do their work in rotating the ship and aligning enemies, but also calling out targets and so on. It means that this loadout is viable for 2 players, but when you're playing it with 3, the third person will often not have a lot to do, and also there's not that much power available on the ship because the brains draw a significant amount of power from the power grid.
Proximity mines approaching.
So my turret is switching into the bomber instead of shooting at the mine because we have the bomber target locked. So then it prefers to shoot at it. And I'm flying a little bit above it so that Loritz can also shoot at him even though he's on the left side of the ship.
And I'm using my targeting reticule to actually hit something.
Remember, the brain might be more reliable than a crew member, but it's not intended to replace crew.
Right.
Also, a crew member in a Litany minigun eats 1 or 2 power of the power grid, whereas the brain eats a whopping 4. So the brain and the cruise mode in sort of nice combination means that you can set up the ship to fly in a beautiful circle and then run to a gun yourself, especially if you're playing solo, and then sit alongside the brain and shoot stuff. This is not a win-all strategy, of course, because the enemies do aim predict, and if you're flying in a beautiful circle, they know that circle, so they're going to shoot where you're going to be.
And we are engaged with the destroyer. Let's go, brain, you and me together.
Okay, we got the shard incoming.
Circuit breakers has failed.
Yeah, the power grid, we can handle it.
Oh damn, I'm finishing off brain.
Has retrieved an item.
Yes. So we're also getting asked, does the new scanning completely replace the previous passive scan, or do they work together?
They work in conjunction. And obviously, we also want to do stuff with the scanning system in general. And now that we have target logs, we also want to use that systematically for more things.
Oh, you're such a good pilot. Let's go. Maybe?
This way, sir. Please enter.
Please. Oh, yes.
Hey, don't lock me out.
See you. I'm sorry, I have to prioritize. My biomass is too expensive. There you go. You can now come in. So another thing we actually added, I'm not sure if it was on this patch or the previous one, is the force respawn button, right? That kind of fits into what we are doing right now.
This was this one. So this is an early access only feature where if you do manage to get stuck, and then forbid, then you can respawn back at the ship. There's a cooldown to it, so it won't be abused. But basically to help players during the early access. Nice little quality of life.
Right.
Sometimes, you know, brains are hard to find. It's a delicate biomass. So somebody asked if you can use them on different ships. And the answer is actually no, not at the moment. You might be able to in the future find them around the universe, but they are not something you can choose.
So we actually, of course, just as
because
say,
good brain matter is very difficult to find.
You can say that it's like in me, but no, that's of course one of the things that we're pushing in every single one of these dev streams. We want to hear your feedback. If you enjoy playing with these auto turrets a lot and you would like them to be something you can find in space or something you can fabricate, just let us know. Give us your feedback through our Discord. Make sure you can join us, !Discord on the chat. And you speak, we listen. This update is already addressing a lot of the things that you guys already spoke about, and we don't plan on stopping that. So please give us your feedback.
Hostile